this room, I'm curious, let's take a poll. How many of you in this room, by show of hands, are in love? You married people better get your hands up. How many of you are not in love tonight, but you have been in love at some point in your life? You married people better get your hands down on that one. How many of you have ever in this room have ever had a broken heart? The rest of you haven't hit puberty yet, I guess. How many of you have ever seen open heart surgery on the Discovery Channel? Do you love that Discovery Channel? How many of you love the Discovery Channel? Admit it. I love it! Man, I love it! When those helpless little deer are being chased by those leopards, man, I think it's cool. And the snakes are eating the chicken eggs, you know. Always eating better than I am. I was watching the other day, y'all, and they had open heart surgery on the Discovery Channel. It was fantastic. They laid this old boy out on the table, and thank God they can do that. If I keep eating Mexican food, I'm gonna eat it. They laid this old boy out on the table. They put a towel over his head. I guess so in case you knew him, you wouldn't get sick. And they cut him right down the middle. They ripped that chest cavity apart. And there it was. Looked like lasagna that was alive. It did. And they took veins, y'all. Did you know you got spare parts? They took veins out of his legs and put them up on his heart. You know, I don't know, but we're going to find out probably in about 6 months to a year what those veins are for. God doesn't just put veins in you for no reason. That old boy's going to be walking down the street with a perfectly good heart. That old leg's going to give out. He's going to wish he had his veins. I watched them cut, sew, suture, snip, tuck, mend. I watched them work on that heart for about an hour. I tell you, it's a mess if you don't know what you're doing. They worked on that heart for about an hour, and I thought to myself, and to think someone would tell another human being, I love you with all my heart. You love me with your blood pumping muscle? I tell you, it lost something for me, children. You know why we say I love you with my heart, though? Because in Western civilization, the seat of the emotions is the heart. The seat of the emotions is the heart. I love you with all my heart. You broke my heart. Put your heart into it. The seat of the emotions is the heart, but not so in some countries. I'm serious. Some countries, the seat of the emotions is the kidneys. Some countries, it's the liver. The seat of the emotions. You ask that missionary next time he brings that 12-hour slideshow to your church. You ask him, where is the seat of the emotions in the country he comes from? Somewhere it's the kidneys. Somewhere it's the liver. Somewhere tonight, a guy is telling his girl in some other language, I love you with both my kidneys. Or he might be saying, hey, baby, you make my liver quiver. It's not the same as the heart. It's not the same. Hey, but did you know what the seat of the emotions was in the Old Testament? Anybody know? You got it. The bowels. Look it up. The seat of the emotions in the Old Testament was the bowels. Boy, that'd ruin a lot of good love songs, wouldn't it? Don't tell my bowels, my achy breaky bowels. I left my bowels in San Francisco. What'd they do for love songs? But the heart works. I mean, think about it, ladies. If you were in the Old Testament, can you hear your husband? He puts you in his arms. He goes, oh, baby. Oh, baby. Woo, baby. it's the heart, is it? But we have our Christian cliche. It goes like this. Would you like to invite Jesus into your heart? Yeah. You've heard it. Let me tell you something. Jesus is just about as interested in getting in your heart as he is your kidneys. He don't want to get into your left ventricle and watch blood go by. But when you invite him into your heart, listen to me, if you ever do, get ready. At times you may have a broken heart. A lot of people say, come to Jesus, and you get saved and everything's fine from then on. Let me tell you, Christ said, I've come to give you life. But not just life more abundant. First of all, you got to know what life is, y'all. You know what life is? Whether you're a believer or you're not a believer, life is life. Life is a series of emotions. Life is a mountain after a valley, a wife to feed, a husband to clothe, children to raise, a boss to put up with, car notes, taxes, April 15th. Life is life. Christ said, I've come to give you life more abundant. If I could put the Christian life into one word, you know what it would be? It wouldn't be joyous. It wouldn't be victorious. It wouldn't be sad. It wouldn't be depressing, even though it has been all those things at some point in time. If I could put it into one word, if I could put my entire Christian experience into one word, it would be this. The Christian life is interesting. You want a boring life? Don't come to Christ. You want an interesting life? Come to Christ. But I've got a great scripture for you. If your heart ever gets broken, this is my favorite scripture. It's my life verse. I love this verse. It says this. And it came to pass. I love that verse, don't you? And it came to pass. It didn't come to stay. It came to pass. No matter where you are on that experience, it'll pass. Hey, you young 18-year-old jocks that got muscles in your earlobes, enjoy them. They will pass. You older crowd, 35 and up, you got gray hair now. Some of you got blue hair. You know who you are. Some of you got no hair. Some of you went out and bought you some hair, didn't you? I saw a guy on TV, some TV preacher. He had the nastiest looking wig I've ever seen in my life. I think the thing was made out of cat hair. Every time he scratched his head, his rear went up. But enjoy it. It will pass. Hey, you may have arthritis living in your joints. Hey, enjoy it. It'll pass. Either it will pass or you will pass. It came to pass. No matter where you are in your life, it'll pass. Did you have a bad year last year? Hold on. It'll pass. Did you have a good year last year? Hold on. It'll pass. No matter what you're going through, this too shall pass.